If you're holding crypto and still paying taxes on every trade, you're doing it wrong. Countries like El Salvador, Germany and the UAE have clear laws that let you legally pay zero on capital gains. This isn't a loophole, it's smart jurisdictional planning. Now in this video, I'll show you where serious investors are moving their assets and how to do it right. Okay, so here is a short document that really lists out what are the top crypto tax friendly nations coming out in 2025. I've got them listed here and I'm going to go through every single one of them in turn. So starting off with the Cayman Islands, it says here zero tax on income, capital gains, corporate or crypto activity, as you would expect from any tax haven, particularly in these Caribbean islands. They're the ones that are renowned for offering these type of friendly, favorable tax laws for any type of investor, whether you're a corporation or a high net worth individual or just a retiree that just wants to sit on an island and enjoy their crypto earnings, or in fact any type of wealth that they've amassed during their lifetime. The UAE, the United Arab Emirates, no surprise at all given in the Middle East, where they provide no personal or capital gains tax, full crypto activity allowed across the Emirates. Now, there is some subtleties there, particularly for corporate businesses that would like to establish themselves in the denominated tax-free zones. They will be susceptible to some corporation tax, but for the rest of private investors, individuals that just flock into the country, they can immediately enjoy some tax-free earnings, and particularly for crypto, as it says here. The next one on the list is to do with El Salvador. As we all know, it's the first nation that have adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender, which means no capital gains or income tax at all on any crypto. What a wonderful place. If you have that in the Western countries, I think we'll put these kind of smaller nations out of business quite rapidly. But unfortunately, we're not going to see that anytime soon, if not at all. Germany, very, very surprising. Again, it's one of the G10 nations, have actually spearheaded more favorable tax laws in the country. It says here that individuals pay no capital gains tax at all, only if crypto held is beyond 12 months and below 600 euros of profit threshold before that. So there's two parts to it. For personal investors, if they hold up to 600 euros for any crypto holdings less than 12-month period, they will pay a small amount of tax. But anything beyond 1 year of holding of crypto, including Bitcoin, they will be completely exempt from any capital gains tax. Now, this is something that I would expect a responsible government to think what is best for their citizens and for other foreign investors who would like to come into Germany to settle and to prosper. This is something that I would expect other European nations particularly to wake up to the fact that they need to do something. Now this leads into another European neighbour, namely Portugal. Again, gains from crypto held longer than 365 days, the same with Germany, are completely tax exempt. Portugal is really the place to be. Short-term gains, on the other hand, are taxed at a flat rate of 28%. I think that is an acceptable trade-off, given that investors are really in it for the long term. So I salute my hat to Portugal and to Germany from a European standpoint. Now, there's not just these top destinations that are currently offering more favorable crypto tax regulations. There are additional new countries, namely Belarus. They provide tax exemption, which has been extended until January 2025, which has been passed for any crypto-related capital gains, income and VAT, which is like the value-added taxation on any goods and services that people purchase in the country. Georgia provides no crypto capital gains or income tax for residents and businesses. Another interesting country in mainland Europe. We've got Switzerland, where they currently provide private investors generally exempt from capital gains tax, whereas wealth tax may apply. Again, I think this is an acceptable trade-off, particularly given the fact that we all know that Switzerland are renowned for their private banking and privacy for their net worth individuals settled in the country. So it's no surprise at all that Switzerland are continuing on the train journey of providing some tax exception, even for those crypto investors who've decided to become Swiss residents in the country. So again, I salute my hat to the Swiss. Followed by Malaysia, where crypto is not treated as a capital asset, incidentally, however, tax-free for occasional individuals, particularly for those non-traders, which again, I think is an acceptable trade-off, because if you become a trader or a professional trader of any stock, commodity, or even crypto assets, I think it's acceptable that you should be expected to pay any capital gains as a result of that speculative short-term trading purposes. But for the rest of other types of assets, from a much longer time horizon perspective, that is tax-free. And I think that is a very good kind of separation between what is dubbed long-term asset holding from a tax-free perspective versus the more short-term speculative trading, where you should still be expected to pay some form of tax in the country. So Malaysia is quite intelligent in the way they've actually overhauled their tax regime to cover those two types of individuals or investors. And there are other nations that pretty much follow the same lines as Malaysia. You've got Malta, Singapore, Hong Kong, Puerto Rico, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands. They all offer various regimes offering zero or minimal crypto tax depending on the level of residency and activity that you undertake in the country, particularly around trading of stocks, commodities, and digital assets and crypto. So the key takeaway is, if you're really exploring other jurisdictions for crypto tax advantages, particularly in 2025 or even beyond, the 5 most consistent and widely recognized countries are listed here: the Cayman Islands, the UAE, Middle East, El Salvador, and from a European standpoint, Germany and Portugal are mostly advantageous for long-term crypto asset holders. So hopefully in today's episode, you've actually got a glimpse as to the prospective list of other nation states that are starting to open up its floodgates to crypto investors, which it makes total sense with what we've all seen happening. I've covered in many of my episodes in my channel, which is all the more reason why you're subscribed. But on the side of taxation, where there is prosperity in these growth industries, including AI, well, countries inevitably will have to wake up to the fact that they need to overhaul their current tax regimes to make it more favorable, those tax laws, particularly for these emerging investors, AI, crypto, so they can attract their wealth, the talent into those countries. So this is the trend that we're going to be seeing, and I would expect the list that I've shown you here, the countries, is going to grow because they're going to be competing with one nation state with another in order to draw in, as I said before, those investors to settle in those countries. So that's all I would like to cover in today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit the like button, to share the video to friends and co-workers. And if you haven't done so already and you're interested into learn what is out there, what is emerging, what is new, any insights or educational content, anything to do with Bitcoin, blockchain technology and the future of finance, then this is certainly the go-to channel for you to subscribe. And I'll see you next time.